Everyone, and welcome back to English with Malik. Well, today we are here to study a very important structure we call causative. Causative sentences or causative verb as we call them. Well, it's a structure or it's a sentence that is quite different from an ordinary sentence. Okay. What is an ordinary sentence? Let's see this first. For example, we have ordinary sentences like I wash my car, I make a cup of tea, I painted my room, I will fix my bike, I have cut my hair. These are normal sentences as we use them. Subject, verb, and object we have. And in this sentences, I am doing the work, I am the doer. Causative sentences are those sentences in which I am not the doer, but maybe I am asking somebody to do something for me, and maybe I am paying for that, or maybe I am requesting. Okay. So, for example, I wash my car. This in a sentence like causative will be I have my car washed. Okay. The structure is we have subject plus have or get plus object and plus third form of verb. That's what the causative sentence is all about. You have to remember that. In a normal sentence, you have subject, verb, and object. I wash my car. I make a cup of tea. I painted my room. I will fix my bike. I have cut my hair. But here we have subject like I have as have. We can also use get if you want. I have my car. Now we have an object. Okay. And then third form of verb like washed. Over here it is wash, which is first form. Over here it is the third form, which is washed. So we say I have my car washed. Similarly, I make a cup of tea. I do it myself, but like I ask maybe my sister, my wife, or somebody else. So I get a cup of tea made. Okay. Again, we can also say have here. I get a cup of tea made. I have a cup of tea made. Both are the same. There is no much difference. Have is a little formal, we sometimes say, and get is more casual. So we use get more than have. I painted my room. I did it on my own. I had my room painted. Now, see, this sentence is in past. Okay. So the change that we bring comes here. In the first sentence, I have my car washed. This is a sentence in present tense. Okay. But I had my room painted. This is a sentence in past. I'm talking about past. So any change of tense that we do occurs in this part. So I had my room painted or I got my room painted. Both can be used. Then I will fix my bike. Again, this is a future indefinite or future simple. And I will have my bike fixed. Okay. The change is coming here. I will have my bike fixed or I will get my bike fixed. Then I have cut my hair. This is present perfect. I have cut my hair. Maybe like, I try to do that. But in causative, it will be I have had my hair cut. Okay. Present perfect change will come here. Or you can say I have got or gotten. Sometimes we also say got, but gotten is also fine. Got is also fine. I have got my hair cut. Okay. So the basic thing is in a normal sentence, we have subject, verb, object, but in a causative sentence, we have subject plus have or get plus object and plus third form of verb that you have to remember. And that's how your sentences will be made. I have my hair washed. I have my car washed. I get a cup of tea made. I had my room painted. I will have my bike fixed. I have had my hair cut. Okay, let's see a few more examples that how causative sentences are formulated. Like he had his shirt ironed. I mean, he didn't do it himself. If he had done it, he would have said, I ironed my shirt. But of course, he didn't do it. He asked maybe someone, maybe a family member, maybe he went to the laundromat and asked them to iron his shirt. So he had his shirt ironed. And also see that this is a past tense. Okay. So this had is showing that this was done in past. We can also say got. He got his shirt ironed. Both are same, no difference. She will have the dress sewn. Okay. So if in the older time, the women used to do this. but now it doesn't happen. Maybe in some countries it does happen. So if somebody is doing it on her own, so she'll say, I will sew my clothes, okay, or dress, but she will have the dress sewn. So this will have is used here for the future. Get this work done. Okay. Normally we say, I don't want you to do this. Okay. I want you to get it done from somebody else. We are having our home redecorated. This is present continuous. Okay. So even we can use the same causative in present continuous, but the change will come here in this have. We can also say we are getting is also another possibility. We are getting our home redecorated. Third form of verb, done. Third form of verb, sewn, iron. All are past participles. They were getting the room cleaned. Okay. They were not cleaning themselves, but they rather asked somebody to clean the room for them. So this is past continuous. They were getting the room cleaned. I am going to get the email written. Well, I'm not going to write that. I'll ask somebody to do that for me. And this is going to structure. So we say, I'm going to get the email written. Tom got the car driven. He didn't drive himself. Maybe he was sleepy, or he was tired, or maybe, he had a driver. So Tom got the car driven, or we can also say that Tom had the car driven. Maria has had the project prepared. So maybe she asked a friend, or a couple of friends, or maybe somebody who is professional in doing that, and she paid to get this service. So therefore we say Maria has had the project prepared. She didn't do it herself, but she asked somebody else, and this shows that this action is in present perfect. Okay, there is one variation in this causative sentence. The sentences we have just studied are like, I have get the book read for me. This is a sentence which is in actually a passive structure as well. Causative in passive we call it, because we are using third form of verb, and we are using have and get. There is a variation. We use the same sentence in active sentence as well. Okay, a sentence where we say, I have my brother read me the book. Okay, so in this structure we have subject plus have object, and this is an indirect object. Okay, and then we have first form of verb, and then we have another object which is a direct object. Okay, and then we have the book. Okay, I have my brother read me the book. Well, there is a variation into this structure as well. We have a normal sentence like, I have get the book read. Okay, this is rather, we call it's a sentence, a causative sentence in passive. We can also make an active of it, like, I have my brother read the book. Okay, here we have subject have plus object, which is an indirect object. My brother, like people, are indirect object. Read, which is first form of verb, and the book, which is a direct object. So when we have two objects, people are indirect object, things and animals are direct object. So we say, I have my brother read the book. Okay, another is, I had my younger brother polish my shoes. Okay, so we say, I had, got, and met. This is a sentence which is in past tense. But when we use a structure like this, where we have a sentence which is in active form, and we are using first form of verb, like read here and like polish here, all three of them have, get, and make, which is also a causative, have different meaning. If you say have, it means it is a request. Okay, so you ask your brother to read the book, and he says, okay, fine, I'll do that for you. Request. Get is persuasion. You are persuading your brother, kind of. You say, okay, if you read the book for me, I'll buy you an ice cream. You are trying to kind of, persuade him, kind of manipulate him, okay, into that. But if you are using make, it means there is a force. Okay, you are kind of forcing him to do that thing for you. So in active form of causative, where we have first form of verb, where we have two objects, indirect object and direct object. Okay, like the structure I said, subject, have, get and make, all three of them will come. Object, which is indirect, and then first form, and then object, which is direct. In this structure, we will see that all three of them have a different meaning. Have is like a request, or maybe you are paying for that service. Get is persuasion, you are persuading somebody, and make is force. Okay. Similarly, I had my younger brother polish my shoes. So I requested him, please polish my shoes, and he did that for me. Okay. But then I persuaded him. I said, okay, if you polish my shoes, I'll give you $1, for example. Okay. So he said, okay, wonderful. So he did that. But then you made him, you forced him. Okay. And if this happened, you will use made here in this case. Okay. So remember, only in the active form of causative, we will use this difference of have, get and make. But if we are making a sentence like this one, I have get the book read, over here have and get have the same meaning, and we do not use make in this case. Okay, let's see a few more examples. Like, I have the mechanic fix my car. So my car was not working properly. I went to the mechanic. I asked him, requested him, because I'll pay for his services. Okay, so I said, please look at my car, and I do it from him. So I have the mechanic fix my car. I don't do it myself. She got the porter carry her suitcase. So, okay, so she was at the station, and there was a porter. She kind of persuaded him to carry her suitcase because it was quite heavy. He made the students write 100 sentences, but it was kind of a maybe a punishment. You know, he forced them. He forced the students. Nobody was willing to write, but he forced them to write 100 sentences. I will have the cook prepare a pizza. I'll ask him, request him to prepare the pizza for me, and of course he'll do that. He had the barber cut his hair. Again, this is a request, paying for service. So I went to the barber and I said, okay, please cut my hair. So I had, or he had the barber cut his hair. Okay, let's have a quick review. Now we have causative sentences, and there are two different ways in which we studied these causative sentences. The first is I have or get the garden maintained. Here we have subject, have or get, plus the garden, which is a direct object, and third form of verb. And like I told you, that this is a kind of passive form of causative in which we are using have or get, and there's no difference between have or get. Both can be used. Okay, some people say that have is a bit more formal and get is more casual. Okay, but both can be used. There is no problem. Okay, the other one we have in active form, which is like I have my gardener maintain the garden. So we have subject, have, get and make. And like I told you, all three of them have different meaning. Have is a request, get is to persuade, and make is force. Okay, so when you say I have my gardener maintain the garden, I, which is subject, have, get, make, plus object, which is indirect first form of verb, and then object, which is a direct object. So if you say I have my gardener maintain the garden, it means because I'm paying him for the same work. So I request him, please maintain the garden. I'll pay you this much amount, and he does that. Get is like I persuade him. He is so lazy, he doesn't do the work. So I persuade him, kind of tell him that that's his job, and then I say I get my gardener maintain the garden. But if I use force, if I say I make the gardener maintain the garden, here I'm using the force. Okay, so just remember that if it is a sentence like that with third form of verb, like we use in passive, have and get are used, and there is no difference in them. But if it is an active form and you are using have or get or make plus object, which is indirect, plus first form, plus the object, which is direct one, then you will have to be careful about whether it is a request, a persuasion, or the force. Okay, well, this is it for today. We've seen that causative sentences are made when we ask somebody else to do something for us, or we kind of persuade them or kind of force them. And we don't do things. We ask other people to do things for us. Could be as a payment that we are giving them, or could be the other ways. Study them, practice them, try to make your own sentences, try to think of real life situations, like where you have to use such sentences, causative sentences. There are a lot of situations in which we do things on our own, and there are situations in which other people do things for us. So make real sentences and keep coming back to me. I'll be coming with some new videos, some new lessons, some new structure in usage. Until then, bye.